Many times I've thought it would be wonderful to be able to go into the woods and get away from people, get away from society. If I just had enough food to eat and knew how to get food, and if I had shelter, and if I didn't have parental responsibilities and my son to take care of, I very likely would have done that by now, at least for a certain amount of time. And I'd plan on doing that to a certain extent, at least camping. So society is destroying me. And I mean that in a negative and a positive way, if we want to think about it in black and white. As in the past, more so, I've allowed society to eat at me and create resentment and anger, and I still have a lot of that. But recently, I've been allowing all these times I get triggered by society to just chip away at myself, at what I identify with, at the things that are actually causing me pain. So me being destroyed is more of a spiritual thing rather than me literally being destroyed and dying. It's more the idea of myself inside my mind. But society seems to be a very toxic or unhealthy thing right now. And of course and I don't know about every other age of time, although I can think back to some horrible things that have happened and weird norms that society has had. And society isn't all that bad. And as far as, it's also a spectrum. There's different cultures and societies and different things depending upon the countries you're in. And there's some beautiful and wonderful things in society. I mean, the fact that we're able to live amongst each other and not be like animals, for one, that is something to be cherished and to be grateful for. To a certain extent, society is a wonderful thing, but there's a lot of things, looking at the American society, from my perspective, it seems very toxic and horrible and literally destroying all of us physically, like our bodies, the plastic, the overeating, the different sides, politics, this, that, the hate, resentment, the fact that we always need to be doing something. We're always on a screen. We always need something. And anybody who's meditating or taking care of themselves in certain ways, it's not cherished inside society. It's not valued. There's a lot of things that aren't valued in this society that if it were valued, it would be healthy for everybody. And there's a lot of disconnect inside of the society these days. A lot of people just individually in their own space, in their own world, trying to create their own reality rather than everybody just embracing the reality that we have together and lifting each other up. And so I work at a gas station, and I've worked many jobs where I see a lot of people, and I think of a gas station as a watering hole. So it's like it's where people come together. It's a community area kind of. But working there, there's a lot of opportunities for me to get triggered, and I still do every single day. People being angry, people being entitled, me messing up, and just most people are just not in a healthy state of mind. And even if they have a respectful, happy face on, it's just a face. Most people are not actually at peace. Most people have some crutch, some addiction, or some thought process, or some form of thinking and trauma inside of them that they're masking with something. And over 90% of the people that go into the gas station don't need to be going there to buy the stuff that they're buying. It's something that's unhealthy for them. And me just saying this, like, people get upset at this because it's challenging their worldview, it's challenging them as an individual and, what they're doing with their life. And it's not all on them. A lot of this is the norm of society. The norm of people inside these gas stations is it's normal to be depressed. It's normal to dread going to work, dread waking up and doing something active. It's normal to just be like, I'm here, and that's not healthy. That is destroying us physically and emotionally. And I get triggered by people projecting hate and resentment and certain things onto me because of my own built up trauma and certain things in my life that I've accumulated from society and from people around me inside of society in a smaller, more focused in sense. And so I look at these opportunities, at moments, as opportunities to better myself. Whenever I get triggered, it's an opportunity for me to really focus on what's going on here and to transform it and into something healthier. So to destroy me and create a me or a no me, just create energy and thought processes and emotion within this mind and body in a way to where it's not to where it's not unhealthy and to where it's not toxic. And so the norm of society is beyond just the thoughts and emotions of being defeated, being okay, and oh, thank God it's Friday type thing, rather than just embracing every single day. The reason why people embrace Friday is because they can't just be happy with waking up. They can't just be happy with being alive. They need to eat good food to feel alive. They need to do something stimulating, watch something that is entertaining or gives them an emotion, just constantly feeding something. Nobody can just sit for even like 5 or 10 minutes without doing anything. Like even enjoying the wilderness, like even going into the woods, they have to look around and enjoy the wilderness or do something to stimulate something. And that's toxic. That's destroying us. Most people don't even see that. Just saying this seems crazy or out of the box thinking, but if you really look at it, it's how it is. Society, especially the American society, is very disconnected from reality, and they're feeding themselves literally with food that's not healthy and toxic, that's messing with their emotions in their body and making them low energy, but also with thoughts and identities and certain things that keep them closed inside of a bubble and keep them restless and just needing to constantly feed themselves to feel at peace. They need some outside source to feel at peace. That's what this society has come to. And all these things aren't necessarily bad. I mean, good food's great. Watching videos, playing video games, sex, whatever it is, it's amazing. If it's not abused and done in a horrible way, or done in a way to where you feel like you need it to be happy, or done unconsciously, where it's just like a compulsive thing, you're just doing it to fill a hole within yourself. And in society, it's not seen like that. It's glamorized. These things that we need not be constantly doing and constantly thinking about and constantly having in our day-to-day lives, it's glamorized. It's seen as like, if you do these things and you constantly do them, then you're cool. You're a fulfilled life. If you have the car and the hot girl or guy or whatever, you have all of these things, then you're a full-fledged life. That's the way it's seen. If you have a really good job, or business that you created, whatever it is. It seemed like we need all these things to be happy and fulfilled, and there's also this general like underline of anybody who doesn't have it is seen as a loser and a lower form of life. So there's a lot of people. Now there's a spectrum to this, but even on a spiritual level too, though, people are seen as a lower form of life if they're not seeing things spiritually. And it's inside this society, it's like everyone's trying to one up each other. It's like, no, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. And if you're not better than somebody else, then you're not successful, which that is toxic. That's destroying us. That's destroying the connection, the human connection that we have. It's fake. Whenever we come together, then we're only coming together out of fear to rise up above other countries or rise up above somebody else, rather than just genuinely coming together as human beings. I can see my breath. So in the society, there's this underline of needing to be better than someone else. You need to have the best car, the best job, the best house, the best way of living, the best sexual partner, romantic relationship, all of these things. And very few people are able to take a step back and realize that that's all rubbish. That, of course, we should all, there should be value in someone being able to work and help support themselves and survive. But that's what all it is survival. It's not the whole thing of life. There's many dimensions to life beyond survival. And whenever you're stuck in survival, you're creating so much suffering inside of your life, unnecessary suffering that need not be there, not only for yourself but for everybody else. And society makes that normal. It makes it okay. It's like everybody else is like this, so then I'll be like this. But no, I won't. Not me. I mean, I've been like that. I even unconsciously, I've had smaller thought processes and emotions like that. Thinking, even like my music or becoming more spiritual than other people. At times, without realizing it fully, I was doing what I'm talking about now. And so, at this point, I'm more conscious of it, and I've been conscious of it throughout my life and let go of it, but then got sucked back in and let go and sucked back in. So it's a process, and here I am now. I'm getting destroyed by society every day. People are triggering me, and also just the norm of eating flesh of animals, the norm of drinking and just constantly watching things and just constantly going and going and going and going and going, and all these things, stimulation. And for example, at my work, we had a choice. We got new t-shirts. We had a choice of team pizza or team chicken, as in, do you like to eat pizza or do you like to eat chicken? There's no other option. I don't eat either one. Chickens are my friends. I eat a whole foods plant-based diet. Although, I mean, maybe I'll create some Whole Foods pizza. Every now and then I'll eat processed foods. So I chose team pizza. There's a pizza on the back of this shirt. Because that's closer to something that I could create. I could create a vegan pizza, but the team chicken, it shows an entire chicken on the shirt. And people are so disconnected, not like many people don't actually think about, how the chicken is died and the chicken is killed, it dies, but also the whole process of that and just the deepest sense of that. Like, sure, people intellectually think about it like, oh, it died, almost like a video game, like, pew, oh, you're out of lives. But no, it's a life. Like the deepest sense of like their perspective of coming into this world as a piece of life, very sacred. It's so shallow that we're just consuming on their like people. I'm handing out chicken at work, and people order like a leg, a thigh, a wing, and when you really think about it, if you get a 3-piece, it doesn't seem like that much. It's like, oh, you're only getting 3 pieces of chicken, but you get a 3-piece. That's 3 different chickens they killed, 3 different lives, and people are just consuming it without a second thought, just blindly, and it's normalized. Like these shirts at work, it's completely normalized. And then I am seen as the one who is weird, who is out of place, which automatically is always wrong in most people's minds. If it's out of place of society, it's wrong, because people are usually like sheep, just following the crowd and blindly believing. And so I'm usually quiet. Like 99% of the time, I'm quiet about these things, and I let it all out on this YouTube channel. For now, because financially, I would like to keep my job, and I know becoming vocal about these things makes people get defensive. It makes people have anger, and even me, whenever my worldview is challenged, I get defensive and I get triggered. Still, I'm trying to grow past that. And many people aren't actually trying to grow past that because society normalizes it. So I've come a long way. It doesn't make me any better than anybody else. I'm just saying this to prove a point that people should grow past this. And we can transform society. We are society. Our behavior, our beliefs, collectively is society. And so the more of us that see things more clearly and have compassion for everything and actually act on it, not just compassion in our beliefs and compassion as words and just saying we care about things, but actually acting and doing something about it. The more of us that do that and change our day-to-day lives and behavior, the more society changes. And me being here the way I am is one aspect and one little piece of proof that society is changing. Because I didn't just decide to do this on my own completely. I mean, as a kid and a young adult, there was a certain amount of consciousness that came out of me, like that burp, excuse me, naturally. But I was influenced a lot by other people and cultures and things whenever I became curious about life and everything. And whenever I saw that society and the norms and these limiting beliefs are all rubbish, I was like, well, what is this? What is the truth? What is best? And whenever, I mean, even like the general tippy outlook or Western idea of spiritualness and Buddhism and whatever, the Western idea, that's rubbish. Even the Eastern, any ideas are rubbish. It's all just made up. But what's not rubbish is, I mean, ideas and certain things are wonderful ways for us to survive, for us to express ourselves in art and music. That's great. But what makes them fully not rubbish, or what makes them even more valuable, in my humble opinion, is whenever we all collectively come together and we all cherish it, and if it's existentially good for us and everything, if it's good for everybody's well-being, and we all collectively cherish it, then that is something that should be inside society, rather than it just being exclusive, like, oh, it's only good for these people, but not these people. On this side, not that side. The exclusiveness of this society is tearing us apart and destroying us. And not in a positive way, where it destroys our identities, although it could. You see, like I said at the beginning, I see all of these obstacles, all these barriers, all these times I get triggered by society as a chance for it to destroy what I identify with, myself, my thoughts, my emotions, my body even. Because if I can let these things dissolve each time I get triggered, and not let go of it, but face it fully, and just see it for what it is, then I can start to live more life with clarity. I can look at things from a bird's eye view, from third person perspective. I can, with that clarity, create more joy in my life, and with that joy I can do more and live a happier, better life and rise above the suffering. I can use the suffering to help lift me up above it, and then from there I can just live my life until I die and help others along the way, and maybe plant some seeds in society to think more collectively, inclusively, compassionately. Maybe I'm all wrong. Maybe society right now is in the perfect spot. It's great. We should just destroy everything, and then we'll somehow reach a point where we evolve into superhumans who can fly and float, just because we were eating chickens, and we were hating each other, and being inclusive. I don't know everything. Maybe that happens. Maybe after 100 years of being this type of society, we'll just evolve into superhumans and have superpowers. Lasers will come out of our eyes. Pew! That's not how it works. And even if it did, I don't want lasers coming out of my eyes. I don't want to be a superhuman. I'd rather be whatever this is right here. Well, I'm becoming. It's a constant becoming. We're constantly transforming. We're never actually stagnant in one thing. I've said what I wanted to say. Leave a comment down below. What do you want to say? Thank you for watching. For the animals! Woo!